Hi everyone, I'm Patrick. I'm currently playing on UOF in FLQ Guild, and today I want to show you how to fight ArchD. The intent here is to get more players involved so that we can get just a fair advantage over YOLO. It's giving us pretty much a lot of grief, and just evening out the numbers will tend to reduce the raids and just so that everyone can get a piece. So why would we want to fight ArchD? Because he spawns every between 4 and 5 hours from spawn time. And he also has a good chance, I'd say about 5% chance of dropping a relic in your backpack. So I'll be going through many topics, so feel free to skip along this video. Some topics include obviously ArchD strategies, preparations, skills, multi-clienting, dealing with death, foes and allies, and just a whole bunch of things, tentacles and skills, abilities, whatever. So yeah, just start off with here. My Zerker is just archery, and my mage is just standard mage. You hardly ever see any resilience. You do see some people fighting with katanas, but yeah, I'll leave that for you to explore and whatever you prefer, your fighting styles. Obviously, in terms of preparation, you need good armor. So here I'm just fighting with a Vank, Combo, and Dragon Scale armor. As for Mage, Invol, Leather, and just a bunch of potions and reg, pretty standard stuff. You do want to get a lot of cure potions because if you get hit by that ward, you get 20 ticks or so of poison that won't go away. So you need to endure the full duration of those 20 ticks of poison. And you want to, yeah. Um, I always get at least one gator so I can gate myself out. And also have a scout. Alright, so having a scout is really useful because the Archd and Lich Gon fights usually last only a few minutes, like 5 to 10 minutes. So knowing exactly when he spawns is critical. Um, Archd and Lich Gon spawn from 4 to 5 hours after the last spawn time. So the time span in which he can spawn is referred to as in window. For example, if he spawns at 1 o'clock and dies at 1:25, which is irrelevant, he will be in window 4 hours after 1 hour, so that's 5 hours, and could spawn anytime from 5 to 6. When ArchD is in window, there'll be lots of people recalling in and out and trying to see if he spawned, or there might be people hidden and trying to see um, if when he actually spawns. So when he spawns, usually there's 3 tentacles that show up around, and those might kill your scout, or PKs may raid the whole place. So that's why you usually just want a scout in here, not your main, because you might get stolen or PK'd. So in terms of recall spot, generally people recall in this spot here. Or this spot here. It's got a bunch of impassable tiles here. All the skulls are generally impassable. This is also a complicated area. You can sort of sneak in, but you should discover that from yourself. All these skulls impassable, but some of the gold piles are. Now I'm gonna get some ticks from the yellow one. There's blue ward, green ward, which is poison, blue ward, which is paralyzed, a yellow ward, which see those ticks of damage here. That probably is the worst one for mages. You can get some spells in between the ticks, but you have to be. Alright, you even missed it. It's very hard. I get hit again. Those wards, it's on a timer for every 30 seconds or so, maybe 25 seconds. They work with a line of sight. So if the ward sees you, you can get hit. You can count in your head when you see them fire off, and if you break line of sight, you should not get hit, right? See, I just didn't get hit. And so the ward didn't see anyone else besides me, but it didn't see me because I had a wall of stone up. Some tiles are impassable. these aren't. I think this one is only this one though, and it's really hard to actually get to work. See, this is a weird spot. This graphic here blocks you. So there's a few things you should know about impassable terrain. So get familiar with this area. Um, see it. Ah, boy. Okay. Menial works. So yeah, I'll try to get one. There you go. Yeah, you didn't even get it. There's a way of getting spells in, but it's you really have to time it work right. There. All right. All right. So wards can be a pain, especially the one that see I get the paralyzed now. That's from the blue ward. The worst one is for sure the poison one. So when you get poisoned, just chug a lot of potion, heal yourself, cure yourself, and eat, go through some of potions and cure pots. Main thing of having two guys is that if you die, odds are your colleagues are busy trying to deal damage, and if you can't work out a situation where you just gate out so that you can get next to a shrine, gate to the Archd, so you can get your guys out, resurrected, back in, and try to be as autonomous as possible. Sometimes it's easier for folks to heal, especially when there's a shielded or when it's not a full damage moments. But generally, try to get yourself resurrected on your own. Whoops. So yeah, that's in terms of recall spot, shrines, tally statue. So obviously you want your gator to be able to gate you to the tally statue to get fully reset, and so that can help. All right, so Archd generally spawns on the northern section of this area. And the tentacles usually, if you put a line here, see my wall didn't work because I guess it could see me. So yeah, generally all the tentacles are in this area. Sometimes they'll spawn closer to here. See, this is the word I'm talking about. Let's try it. So that's the spit attack. See, it did 20 damage. That's what it did. All right. Yeah, so I get at least a rune in this area, which is generally safe. This area is high. There's a high likelihood that you'll get hit by tentacles, and also I try to get at least one rune here because usually the fight always will end up around this location. So the wards will also be around this location. So once the fight has started, you can get safe recall in from the back. So the abilities, I'll probably talk about those when I'm fighting. I try to have 120 strength and dex when I'm fighting, just deal a bit more damage. See, this is flames. See the Deamon fire? That will kill you instantly. You need to break line of sight. As soon as line of sight is broken, the flame stops tracking you and you're safe. So this is the easiest way to break line of sight, these two here. There is a way of breaking line of sight, as I mentioned, over here with this one, but it's tricky. The other way of breaking line of sight is getting as far away from the ward as possible. When you're like 20 tiles away, that breaks line of sight as well. So if you can run like in one direction a long ways. See, that might not be. Oh yeah, that was enough to break line of sight, although it was a straight line. So you count these tiles, and that's the amount of tiles you need to break line of sight. Balling is an easy one to dodge. You can hide under it. This works well with Archd, but does not work well with Lich Kaan, because Lich Kaan reveals. He does not reveal. Then again, if you get someone else, an enemy reveal you, then you'll get the ball will kill you. So that might be a good option. But if you're stuck somewhere, see, she's gonna get hit. Why? Because blood tracks whoever's away from one tile away. So Jack is next to him, so he won't get targeted by either flame or spit. But even if Archie doesn't see, because he doesn't have line of sight, spit locks onto another player. In this case is Pauline. So now I would try to move because these wards can hit me. So I would just lure him to somewhere where the wards don't see me. So here, when the wards trigger, I won't even get hit by them. When he does balling, usually he does not move. Sometimes he does though. Sometimes there's an occasion where he starts walking, and that can be dangerous. The balling attack goes through walls. So if he would have balled like here, that might be a ways ago. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That might be too far away for the balling to kill. But if he balls like here, and you're staying on the other side of the wall, you will die. Balling kills you instantly. That's the phase shifting, just like I did, is the best way to attack the Archd. If you run towards him and he's due to make a flames attack, while you're running, before you see the text display on top of his head, you've already been targeted by the flames. So if you're hidden like this, you can't get targeted by flames. So if I attack like this, see, flames triggered because I'm on him. I've triggered the flames attack, but I cannot get targeted because I was close to him when I was revealed. So that's the best way. If had I run towards him, it would have triggered the attack 2 or 3 tiles away, and by that time I would be next to him, and as soon as the text would have shown, I would have died. It would have been too late. When you see the when you know that he just did a flame, I could have just, I know right now he won't do flames, so I can be pretty much very ballsy with this because he did flames a few seconds ago. I can still attack here, right? I could. That's the advantage of Dexers, archers. You can still attack. Now it's very dangerous for me to walk towards him because he's due to do a flames attack. He also do for spit. So if I don't hide here, oh boy, I see how they're all stacked together. That would have been insta death had I stayed there. Phase shift and threads are really helpful to doing massive damage. That's the main advantage of Zerkers. What else here? He will also spawn, I think it's based on a timer, he will spawn a shielded. Shielded tend to be a pain in the ass. They also prevent Archd from receiving damage. So you need to kill the shielded, very similar to how Oak's champ spawn works. So you need to kill the shielded before continuing. That being said, the threat damage still works. Now shielded also have a very weird mechanic in terms of damage dealing. Zerker's range don't do any damage to him, very limited. Although tread does full damage. So two full threads will kill the shielded, and then you can also kill them with your mages. Now see, I've been hit by a few wards, and that renders me pretty useless because I will die otherwise. So here, right now, there's hardly any wards. There's this one here. So if I fight here, I won't have any issues with the wards. So that's why you want to shift position around the wards, and that will give you the easiest fight. What else is here? Yeah, so when you die, inevitably you will die, and it can be quite frustrating. But yeah, you just run out. When you die, there's a chance that you'll be ejected from the archery area. You'll spawn. You'll just get ejected like on this spot. So you can get just a rune marked outside, and so when you die, you just get a gate, reset, and you can go. This teleporter is tricky. Really need to stay on it for a few seconds for it to work. You'll get the hang of it. Just try it, practice. See, this spot doesn't work. I think 2 spot work. He says so. Yeah, there's at least 2 spot that work. Once you're in Ghost and you've been ejected, you can't go back in, right? So just a note on fighting strategies. When we're fighting with multiple allies, it's important that we stack. There's a main reason for that is to prevent Archie from switching targets and moving around. And when he moves away from you, he could potentially trigger a flames attack, and then you'd be standing a tile away from him, and so you would kill him. So right now, see, I was right close to him, so I wasn't targeted by flames. Had I come over here, and if I just, for example, if I try to take aggro with Pauline here, so Pauline has aggro right now, but you'll see he may switch targets, and when he does, he can circle around Jack. See, now it didn't kill me because we're both standing next to him, but had I been standing here, for example, I would have died from the flames attack. So that's why it's super important always to stack. If we stack, he'll circle around us, but we'll never be in reach of the flames attack. Same for spit. If you're under a spit attack, you should not be running towards the stack of players. If there's a flames attack and you're running towards the stack of players, odds are you'll just insta die, right? So some allies. Right now we've got a few players that don't look for beef. So if that's the case, just remember them, and if they don't bring PKs and don't cause you grief, tend to try to be friendly and help out as opposed to chasing them out with PKs, which, YOLO, to just name one, is giving us a whole lot of grief, at least giving me grief. At the end of the fight, you need to exit as soon as you can. Chances are they will be coming back to raid if they haven't already. So at the end of the fight, if you haven't received a power scroll or perk or relic, and you have teammates that have died or have fallen during the fight, it'd be good to help them out getting rezzed and healed and looted before you exit, because there might be some grief, there might be some grays trying to steal the stuff and whatnot. So there, I just see, this is how you die with a spit attack. I was targeted by spit, I didn't move towards him or away from him, and the spit also bounced back from the wall, and it hit me. It hit me for the full 340 damage. So every tick of damage is 40, and I got all 3 ticks. So now I'm dead as a ghost. You see that small white cloud happening. That's because I'm gonna get expelled from the dungeon. Do here is this mage would normally be standing next to a shrine. Say this is in Skara. and I just go like this. I would gate out. You could also use these gates, which will bring you to a Brit, which would do the same thing. But I have access to a bank here, which I not even use. And then I'd also gate straight up to the Tally statue. Just reset. And depending on whether or not it ate your corpse, because that's also an important factor, Archdy and Lich eat corpses. So now it didn't eat my corpse. I'll try to have it eaten, so you'll have an idea of what it does. So anyway, when you die and you eat your corpse, there's two possible outcomes. Your corpse will turn into a gray bones, so anyone can loot it, but it will either be empty or all have your stuff in it. If you're lucky and all the stuff is still in it, well, you'll get looted, or you can loot yourself. And if it's empty, then when Archd dies, it will be spread along with the gold piles at the end. So now I've just been expelled from the dungeon and I can't go back in. And the only way is to, get rezzed outside, and then once you're alive, you can go back in. One last quick note on fighting back. If ever you see reds, odds are there will be occasion where you'll get raids. If there are PKs that show up and your teammates are fighting back, please join the fight and defend our ground. Please help out, especially if you're a mage. You can definitely be helpful with the heals and walls of stones and things like that. So yeah, we need to stand our ground and fight back. If you have a teeth script, that's perfect. I have one that just picks up if I see that I have a power scroll. I can show you how it works. So say I have a power scroll. If I enable the safety drop, as soon as it comes into my backpack, I just pick it up. So right now you don't see it, and it tells me I have a power scroll, but I'm holding it right now. I can still check potions, but that may fuck up the item holding. And if I press escape, it refreshes and it shows up. So when I have a power scroll, I think I can still recall out without it showing, but it is what it is. Chances of getting stolen are pretty high, and if a relic drops, that's why the best defense is just hitting that recall macro as soon as the boss dies. All right, I think that covers pretty much all of it. If there's anything else, just reach out on Discord. My Discord is Spatchel, and on the server, I think it's Chris the Kun. But yeah, so be friendly with Tren and FLQ, and see you around. Thanks.